Alan had spent 4 years dedicating himself to arcane energy, but remained a Tier 1 junior arcane mage, mastering only Wind Surge. As the departure from Silverglow Arcane Academy neared, he felt increasingly disheartened. Derek and Roy had secured places at the prestigious Sarah City Advanced Academy, while Alan, who had not even met Silverglow's graduation standards, was heading back home with a heavy heart. "Alan, please tell my parents and the villagers that I'll return in a few years," Roy asked. The journey to Sarah City would delay Roy's visit home, so he relied on Alan to relay his message. Alan envied Roy's opportunity and reluctantly accepted a booklet on warrior training from him. The booklet, filled with valuable insights from an experienced teacher, was a rare gift for someone at Alan's level. As Alan began his journey home, he felt a mix of homesickness and regret. The simple clothes he wore as a child no longer fit, and he had never worn the arcane robe awarded to graduates of Silverglow Academy. Despite mastering Wind Surge, he questioned how he could help his father and the villagers with such limited skills. When Alan arrived in Windsong Town, he noticed it had not changed much, but the road to Hawk Village was in poor condition. Overgrown with weeds and strewn with debris, it seemed to have been neglected for some time. Alan, with limited money, decided to walk the remaining distance. The muddy path was difficult, and he used Wind Surge to ease his steps, but the condition of the road was concerning. "Why hasn't the mayor repaired this road?" Alan muttered. Despite the desolate path, his excitement to return home pushed him forward. As he neared Hawk Village, memories of his childhood filled him with anticipation. He quickened his pace, eager to reunite with his family and friends. Upon reaching the village, Alan was met with an unsettling sight. The village, once vibrant and familiar, was now overrun with weeds and debris. The protective wooden stakes were broken, and the villagers' homes had fallen into ruin. Alan's heart raced as he called out, "Fellow villagers, I'm back!" But his words echoed unanswered. The village was eerily quiet, and Alan's excitement turned to dread. The once well-tended road was now a mess of overgrown grass and broken stones. He walked through the village, searching for any sign of life, but found only desolation. The familiar sights of his childhood were gone, replaced by decay and neglect. "Where is everyone?" Alan's voice trembled with anxiety. The village seemed deserted, and the remnants of what was once a thriving community were now scattered and broken. As the rain began to fall, the stormy weather added to the bleak atmosphere, making everything feel even more deserted. Alan's fear grew as he stumbled upon a row of gravestones behind the village. Each stone was crudely carved, bearing the names of villagers he had known. Deceased, Hawk Village Chief Gavin. Deceased, Villager Jack. Deceased, Villager Theo. Deceased, Villager Fred. Deceased, Villager Vic. Alan stood frozen, his heart heavy with grief. The sight of the gravestones was overwhelming. He knelt before them, tears mixing with the pouring rain. The village, which had been his home and sanctuary, was now a place of mourning and loss. "Father, what happened?" Alan cried out, his voice breaking. The villagers, who had once cared for him as their own, were now gone. The 4 years he had spent training in arcane energy seemed meaningless in the face of such devastation. He had hoped to return as a hero, but instead he found only sorrow. The relentless rain pounded the ruined village, washing away the dust and leaving Alan feeling utterly alone. He sank to his knees, feeling the weight of his loss and the emptiness of his achievements. The once lively village was now a shadow of its former self, and Alan's heart ached with the realization that he had returned only to find it in ruins. The storm raged on, and Alan remained in the rain, mourning the loss of his home and the people he loved. The village, once full of life, was now a memory, and Alan was left alone in his grief, feeling as though he was the last person in the world.